Hello student, we are continuing with the same chapter of political science of class 9th, chapter number 2, what is democracy and why democracy. In our previous video, we have already discussed about the definition of the democracy and the two features of the democracy. And in this video, we'll be talking about two more features of the democracy. So we are here, we start with the third feature of the democracy, which says one person, one vote and one value. So here in this feature, we'll be mainly talking about, we'll be mainly taking the case study of three countries. These are the Saudi Arabia, Estonia and Fiji. So first we'll be talking about the Saudi Arabia. In Saudi Arabia, we all know Saudi Arabia is there in the Middle East, is one of the Middle East country, and in Saudi Arabia, the women's, they were not having equal rights, and these women, they were not having a right to vote until 2015. So here we can say that though this country says that we are the democratic country, but still here the women, they were not having a right to vote. So all the people, they were not given the equal right here. Okay. Next we'll be talking about the Estonia. Now Estonia is the country is there in the Europe, and you must be knowing that Russia earlier it was known as the USSR, Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. So this country in that USSR, Estonia was one of the country. Means Estonia was one of the is the part of that country, and here that time the Russian minority also they were living in there. So these Russian they were in the minority in their country. Now after the disintegration of the USSR, the Estonia became the independent, and some of the Russian people they left there and they were living there, but they were in the minority. So these people in the Estonia, though they were the citizen of their country, but still these people they were not having a right to vote, or we can say it is very much difficult for the Russian minority to cast their vote in the country. Okay, so again here we can say the Russian minority they were not having a right to vote in the Estonia. Now next we'll be talking about the Fiji. Fiji is one of the island group is there in the South Pacific Ocean, and it is a group of almost 300 islands. Okay, so here mainly two type of people they used to live there. These are the indigenous Fiji and the Indian Fiji. Now first I will explain you who are known, which all people are known as the indigenous Fiji and who are the Indian Fiji. So indigenous Fiji are those people who are the original inhabitant of the Fiji. They were known as the indigenous Fiji. Now next Indian Fiji are those people whose forefathers were the Indian, but now these people they have started residing over there, and means these people they born there and now they are living their life there. Okay, maybe these Indian people during the colonial time when the Britishers they have made many colonies there. So that time the Britishers, you must be knowing that the Britishers that time they used to take our people, Indian people, to the different other colonies. Okay, and so that they can make them to work in the plantation or in other factories. So that so in that time the Britishers they took some of our Indian people in the Fiji also. So those Indian Fiji they have started living there. Okay, so in Fiji also these indigenous Fijis, their vote is counted as a 1. Okay, but if we talk about the Indian Fiji, when these people they used to cast their vote, and their vote is counted as a half. So it means here again we have seen that these people, though they are the citizen of this country, but they were not having a same equal right as the original inhabitant people were getting. Okay, so by the study of all these countries, we come to know that each adult citizen must have a 1 vote, and each vote must have 1 value. Here we have seen in both these countries that the women's in the country, in the Saudi Arabia, and the Russian minority in the Estonia, these people they were not having a right to vote. But here we have seen that in Fiji, though the Indian Fiji, they have a right to vote, but their vote were not equivalent to the indigenous Fiji. Okay, so later, so now we come up with the one more feature of the uh, democracy, which says that every person should have a right to vote, and every person's vote should be counted as a one, or should have a same value. Okay. Now next we'll be talking about the fourth, the last feature of the democracy, which says the rule of law and respect for the citizen. Now, rule of law, in your previous class, in your 8th class, you must be knowing about the rule of law, which says that all the people are equal before the law, and the government should rule according to the law. Okay. And respect for the rights means here the government should respect the rights of the citizens, its citizens. Okay. So here we'll be taking the case study of the Zimbabwe. Now Zimbabwe, you must be knowing that Zimbabwe is there in the which of the continent? Africa. Yes, Africa. So Zimbabwe got independence in 1980, and there is a one dominant party is there. The name of that party was the ZANU-PF party. Now the full form of this ZANU-PF party, it is just an abbreviation. The full form of ZANU-PF party is the Zimbabwe African National Union Patriotic Front. So this is the dominant party at the time, during the independence, because this is the party was there which took which struggle against the freedom in the Zimbabwe, and the leader of that party was the Robert Mugabe. Okay, so in 1980, when this party got independence, after that, and this person Robert Mugabe, he was the famous personality there that time. So the people, this person, he contested the election and he become a president of that country. Okay, like in our country, when we were struggling, when our forefathers, they were struggling for the freedom that time, then we were having the INC, the Indian National Congress. That was the main party, or the single party was there in our country. So in the same manner, the ZANU-PF party was also there in that during the independence duration in the Zimbabwe. Okay, but later on, when this person, he became the president, later on what happened, that this person, he started making using some kind of unfair means and dirty tricks at the time of the election. So this person, he was known for the unfair practices in the election, and because of that, this person, he was continuously winning the election since 1980 in the Zimbabwe. Now, how this person, he got more powerful, because when this person, he became the president of the country, this person, he started making changes in the constitution of the country, and because of that, this person became more powerful, and he made himself less accountable. Less accountable means he made himself less answerable to its people. Okay, this person, he was having a full control over the media, and also this person, he was having a full control over the radio and the television. Means whatever the thing used to be broadcast in the radio and the television, those people has to take the permission from the president only. Means whatever this person will tell them to broadcast in their media, then only that thing only they will broadcast. Okay, this person, he used to harass the opposition party leader, and he make a kind of a law according to which no people is allowed to protest against the government. If they will do so, so the government will put those person in the prison. Okay, so this person, he was also having a control over the judiciary. Means if it happens that any judgment is coming in against the government or against the Robert Mugabe, so this person, he used to forces the judiciary to change their verdict. Okay, so in this manner, this person, he overruled, or he violated the fundamental rights of the people, and he changes many laws according to his own convenience. Okay, so here we can say, by this case study of the Zimbabwe, we came up with one more feature of the democracy, which says a democratic government rules within the limits. Here it says that if though this person, he was elected by the people, but it doesn't mean that the person who is being elected by the people, in future he will rule for the betterment of the people. Maybe that person can change his mind. So that person, the person who is being elected by the people, that person should rule within the limits. His power should be limited, okay, sets by the constitution. Means those powers should be set up by the constitution only, and constitutional law and citizens' rights. And that person, that leader should respect the rights of the citizen. He cannot make any changes, or he cannot have a right to violate the fundamental rights of the people. Okay, so here by this all this study we came up with the end of the features of the democracy. Now we have discussed almost the 4 features of the democracy. Now in the next video we'll be mainly talking about we will summarize the definition of the democracy. Thank you.